What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning George Kambosos Teofimo Lopez Jr. Get this. Kambosos on Lopez's response to the loss. He says, "Take it like a man, bounce back, stop being a bitch." George Kambosos Jr. doesn't appreciate having the best win of his career continue to be unacknowledged by the fighter whom he defeated. Kambosos shocked the world last November with a split decision win over Teofimo Lopez to come away with the IBF, the WBA, and the WBO titles. Lopez was reportedly diagnosed with a seriously life-threatening medical condition after the fight, which is when air is presented and trapped in your lungs, okay, or trapped outside your lungs. And however, Lopez has long maintained that he had done enough to win that fight and has gone so far to suggest that there was a conspiracy against him. In a recent interview Lopez conducted with ESPN's Mark Kriegel, Lopez appears not to have changed his rhetoric. Lopez is gearing up to make his debut at 140 pounds August 13th against Pedro Campa at World's Resort, Las Vegas. And he said, "Every doctor that sees my report, they look at me and they're like, 'How the hell did you survive that, Lopez?' in one snibnit." And those comments touched a nerve with Kambosos as the Aussie responded straight away on his Twitter account. Looked great to me. An hour before I beat your ass and I sent you to the ICU," Kambosos said in a tweet. "Take it like a man, Tio, instead of the 1,500 excuses. No excuses from me when Haney beat me. Take it like a man and bounce back and stop being a bitch. Good luck in a few weeks against your journeyman." Those are the words of George Kambosos. Let me counterpunch. I find it just super duper duper ironic that the same thing that George Kambosos said about Teofimo was saying that about Deontay Wilder last year and the part of the year before that. It's just crazy how things change. And it just shows you, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Bars. So I think, it makes a lot of sense. I think Teofimo, if I'm Teofimo, I really wouldn't even let out the report or allowed anyone to let out that report, because the first thing people are going to say when they see that something was wrong with Teo is use that as an excuse or use that as fuel to believe like, hey, man, he wasn't 100%. This motherfucker almost died. That may or may well be the case. But what I'm saying is, just because it came out after the fact of him getting beat, people are going to just eat that up, and then just letting it out, it really proves nothing at all to you because you got beat. See, I didn't see Teofimo not look like himself. I seen him look like himself. In fact, he was too aggressive. He just was in there with a guy that fought harder than he did and did more than he did to win the fight. Nothing more, nothing less. It wasn't a bad fight. It was a good fight. Teo didn't just get his ass beat. He was dropped in the first round, and he was out-hustled. He hurt Kambosos in the 10th. I think he hurt Kambosos more than Kambosos hurt him, okay? Because that was more of a flash knockdown. It was really a wake-up call to Teofimo, like, yo, look, this guy can crack and don't fuck around with him. This ain't other people. This ain't the other opponents that you could just jump and throw left hooks and knock out. This is not that dude. You got to do something else, okay? You got to switch gears if you can, I know he tried, but he came up short, okay? But still credit to him, but he diminishes his credit when he starts acting like the guy or the bitch that he was talking about, and I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. You can't turn around and start making a bunch of excuses about this, that, and the other when you said that same thing about Deontay Wilder, saying you'll call him a bitch. But it's crazy. Again, it's totally ironic, okay, to hear that happen. But George is right, though. Don't give excuses. Don't shit on my parade, because up until now, that's all he's really done, George Kambosos. He dethroned Teofimo. that was almost the undisputed champion of the world, but not quite. Okay, Devin Haney is, you know, and it's a trip though. If I'm Tio, I would take the high road. I wouldn't even talk about Kambosos and talk about the excuses if I know damn well I'm not going back to 135 and challenging Kambosos again. He had an opportunity to fight Kambosos and he decided not to. But yet his father let him tell it. Oh, well, he stayed there at 135 too long, bro. That's what it was. It was on the zone. They were out to get me. Who the fuck does that sound like? That sounds like Deontay Wilder. They was out to get me. And he was the first guy to post a child. Deontay, stop being a bitch. And then when that happened, you and your father tag teamed the excuses. You guys tag teamed them. So again, the hypocrisy is just endless. Okay, so if you're going to fight at 140, hey, look, I would address it like this. If I'm Tio, this is what Tio should do. Hey, well, I was at 135. I'm at 140 now. I'm not going back to 135. My focus is at 140 in front of Campos or Campa or whatever his name is, right? That's who I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about a whole new division and a whole new set of challenges. I don't even want to hear nothing about that. That's in the past. That's how a G does it. Not that shit about, oh, I don't know how you lived and this, that, and the other. And his dad will come up talking shit because he's really hurt because, you know what I mean? Just like Angel Garcia was hurt, dude. He was talking about quitting training after Danny lost to Keith Thurman. Okay, so those guys get hurt because their egos are big. And then when it gets popped, you know, then whatever is what was inside, that's what you have to deal with. So if it's a bunch of fucking hot air, that's exactly all you're going to get, a bunch of hot air. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of George Kambosos responding to Teofimo Lopez's excuses. Please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunch. Peace.